How you doing, everyone? Today I'm playing against my good friend once again. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be my good friend after this match because I'm playing none other than Sync Butchershop. I've made a video on this previously, so this is my second match with Sync Butchershop. I keep my opening hand even though he has two agendas because he's not a criminal. I don't expect him to run my hand very aggressively unless he has a turn 1 lamprey. I keep because I do have a piece of ice in Gutenberg and it is perfect on R&D. I also keep because I have two amazing agendas, a breaking news and an astro script. I immediately play the breaking news on the table. I have two kill pieces in hand. That's another big reason for keeping this hand. I can potentially kill him next turn. Well, very unlikely, but we'll see. I cannot kill him next turn, but if he carelessly installs more than two or more cards next turn, he will be in a lot of trouble. Because when he installs multiple cards and goes below 4 cards in hand, I can kill him with a single Scorched Turf after double advancing the breaking news. But he does the smart thing. He installs an Imp which mills a Palooza into my archives. Then he trashes the breaking news with Imp because he is worried about mid-seasons. Generally, I would not do that on the first turn. There's a good chance that your opponent does not have a mid-seasons, and yeah, even then you can just click up for credits and go for a Hail Mary. By doing this, he is allowing me to recover using a Jackson Howard. So here, the same thing happens. He finds an Astro Script in my hand. Does he trash it? Or does he access it? Honestly, in his position, I mean, even without knowing what cards are there in my hand, I would have scored it and taken 3 credits. Really, the chance of having a mid-seasons in hand isn't that high. Then he runs my R&D, which I greet him with a Gutenberg. Gutenberg is so amazing in Sync because if they do not break Gutenberg, they are forced to pay 3 credits and a click to remove the tag, and that is very taxing. And then he runs Archives after hitting the breaking news on my R&D to fetch all the other agendas. He finds a breaking news, an astro script, the Palooza that he milled. He's on 6 points. Well, that didn't go very well now, did it? I am screwed. Mid-seasons is completely deactivated. I tried to overdraw in the hopes of finding my mid-seasons, but I failed to. I did find all 3 Scorched Turfs, which is a rarity, but what use is it if I cannot score my agendas? I can attempt to score a breaking news here and follow it up with Scorched Turf and Traffic Accident, but with only a Data Raven protecting it, looks like it's not going to happen. So I make a very risky play here. I lay the breaking news in the remote, knowing full well if he accesses the breaking news, he wins the game. The only thing stopping him from doing so is having to eat the Data Raven trace, which could potentially end his game, and the fact that he might not access a card that he wants to see, which is an agenda. So he bounces out of the Data Raven, which allows me to heave a sigh of relief. Mind games working there. But he does install Parasite on the Data Raven, so this gives me a ticking time bomb to deal with. I draw into the perfect ice and end the run. A hard end the run in the form of Enigma. Install, double advance, the breaking news to telegraph that it is an agenda after all. Now, as the runner, what do you think of this? It's very unlikely that it's a breaking news because you already have 2 in your score pile. What are the chances that he has a 3rd breaking news in that remote server? On the same token, as Kester rightfully pointed out to me after the game, there was very little else that agenda could have been. One very good move he could have made at this point was to install Faust and run through my remote. I think he had Faust in his hand, but he chose not to. Instead, he went for Medium Dig. He would access at least 3 cards off the top of R&D. If any of those were agendas, he would win the game. So he just floats the text from Gutenberg, which means that I will win the game if he does not win right now, because I can double Scotch him easily. So he has 1 click left. He is going to see 1 more fresh card. Will it be the winning agenda? Oh, it's a quantum predictive model. Oh, that hurts for him so bad. Baboom. 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 There we go. That's how you lose friends in Android Netrunner. You play Butchershop. So that was a pretty short game, but clearly, even a 6-0 agenda lead without a mid-season's follow-up doesn't guarantee a win. What really happened was that the wrong choice was made to go on R&D instead of the scoring remote. And it's not too surprising, looking at my agenda composition, there are only 9 stealable agendas, of which 5 are out of play, because there's 1 breaking news on the board, and there are 4 agendas in the runner's steal area. Hence, there are only 4 cards out of 27 on R&D that he could have won with, and he only got to see 3 of them. Not too much of a surprise, then, that he didn't win off the Hail Mary. And of course, he would flatline the next turn anyhow. That being said, NBN could still use more defensive agendas than that. 4 in 27 is still quite a coin flip, especially with a medium out. And this is why I'm still not 100% sold on Explodapalooza. It's amazing because the runner cannot deny the steal, and it's amazing because the 5 credit swing can easily enable mid-seasons. But this game, I didn't see a mid-seasons at all, and an NAPD would have been unstealable because he was so poor. He only had time to install Imp and Medium. He had virtually no setup at all, given how quickly the game was going. Enigma was the MVP of this match simply because it allowed me to make the double advance breaking news play, which I would not have been able to do in any other situation. A Soul Data Raven would not protect me against a game loss from the runner winning on agenda points outright. So End the Run Ice is pretty crucial. It also stops R&D Mega Digs, Hail Mary R&D Mega Digs. So I would want to up to at least 3 End the Run Ice such that I can consistently see 1 in every game. At least 1, which would allow me to gear check the runner. This deck is incredibly poor at playing shell games. If you know this deck very well, my opponent didn't, so I had the hidden information advantage. But if you do, you will know that to run every single remote, because there are virtually no assets or upgrades in this deck save for Jackson Howard. So almost every single card's an agenda. You want to run them, you want to steal them, or even imp them, film critic, whatever the case is. So yes, it's very difficult to play as Butchershop once your opponent knows exactly what you're doing. If they don't, then they will commit some mistakes, minor or major, and it's up to you as the corp to capitalize on them. And this is why some people think Butchershop is so cheesy. It is not that difficult to play because it is more reliant on the runner making mistakes than the corp making good plays. That's how I feel anyway. Leave your comments in the comment section if you think otherwise. I would like to hear from you. In the meantime, thanks for watching and happy net running. Goodbye.